Can you just tell me who John is to you? What kind of person John is?
John is a remarkably strong person.
John is to me? John is to me a man of inspiration, a man of patience, a man of integrity, a man of courage. John is inspiration. And he's definitely a brother.
John's character is very personable. I mean, he reminds me of this giant lovable teddy bear.
John Moore, as far as I'm concerned, he should rot in hell and hang by the neck until he's dead.
My name is John Caleb Moore. I was convicted of second-degree murder in 1979, and I spent 10 years in prison for a murder I did not commit.
"33 years ago, John Caleb Moore sat a fronted judge and jury awaiting a verdict. Upon the judge's declaration, a bewildered John rose, head hung, hands cuffed, and feet shackled, guilty for the murder of 18-year-old Donald Lanthier. Are you guilty of the murder of Donald Lanthier?
No, let's see, I'll put it this way. I absolutely and unequivocally did not kill Donald Lanthier.
Can I have you start by telling me who you are?
Sure. My name is Will, and I am a creative person on many levels. I am an artist, an educator, and an activist.
My name is Scott Nye. I'm a writer, an activist, and a parent, and I live in Sudbury, Ontario.
My name is Pamela Toulouse, and I am a professor at Laurentian University.
My name is Dennis Michel. I'm a solicitor and partner at La Croix Forêt.
I'm Glenn Tebow. I'm the Member of Parliament for Sudbury.
My name's Jean Crowder, and I'm the Member of Parliament for Nanaimo Cowichan, and I'm the Aboriginal Affairs Critic for the NDP.
The story starts in Sault Ste. in June 30th, 1978.
It was on this night that the young Sioux taxi driver was strangled and stabbed to death. Gordon Stevens and Terrence Hogan were proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt for Lanthier's murder. While hard evidence, including DNA, put these two men behind bars, John spent 10 years in prison based on witness testimony alone. When John was still convicted, after the most condemning of witness testimonies were thrown out, questions of the trial's fairness began to surface.
John was convicted twice after 2 trials of a murder wherein he was not at the scene of the murder. He did not partake in the murder.
I didn't kill that guy. I wasn't even there. It was proven in the courts that I wasn't even there.
He was convicted under an old section, being section 21(2) of the Criminal Code, where it was determined that he ought to have known that the crime was going to be committed.
The section of the Criminal Code under which he was convicted has now been overturned in 1987.
He is charged and was found guilty under a law that no longer exists.
John had 2 trials. During those 2 trials, 12 different jury members were selected for each. Not one of those single jury members was an Aboriginal person.
Despite the fact that they were held in a city that has a fairly significant First Nations population.
You could throw a rock across the city and you would hit any number of Aboriginal people.
In a murder case, John has the right to be tried by his peers.
He was found guilty by an all-white jury. In today's day and age, that doesn't happen anymore.
And the list just goes on of the number of indiscretions. Three women related, two girlfriends and an ex-girlfriend of the co-accused had a part to play in the attempt to dispose of the murder weapon and the bloody clothes. One of them was given a reward of $2,000 for evidence leading to the arrest of John. And here, John was innocent. Yet, he was seen as guilty from day one without fairness to the facts.
A fourth person, and I don't know if John ever told you this, who's white. Guess what happened to him? Nothing. They convicted the Aboriginal person, and the white man actually had his charges withdrawn.
Yeah. That this brother-in-law, who was non-native, even though was arrested, was later released.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
The Crown was more concerned about getting a native guy as opposed to getting the people who were guilty.
If that's not systemic racism, eh, John?